It's the 12th of March 2024, and this is your Solana Daily Debrief, long form edition, starting with active wallets. Over 750,000 active wallets have interacted with Solana in the past 24 hours. So again, this nice, big, steady growth. It won't be long before this is 1 million, then 2 million, and the growth just continues. So in my opinion, not financial advice, we're going to see some nice appreciation in the Solana price. So remember just to keep on buying your Solana, staking your Solana with validator.com, and just continuing just day by day by day. There will be dips, of course, but it's more about, in my opinion, a dollar cost average, a certain amount per week, and just building it up like that. Next, we've got Bitcoin at the moment. I'm more mentioning this just so we can go back in the future. So market cap of Bitcoin on Solana is 57 million, which is tiny, of course, but wait for ZBTC by Zeus Network, and we're going to see something incredible. We have to wait for this to all play out, but just so you know, these are the winners of the dupe vote. So we'll see how it all goes, but I imagine this will probably be at 250 million within 6 months, but I'm unsure on the timeline for that. Solana True TPS has hit over 1,000. This is very, very good to see. It actually needs to go quite a bit faster than this. Of course, Fire Dancer is coming later in the year, but there are a few other issues. Of course, the blockchain needs to stay up and whatnot, but it's good to see the TPS is high. TVL is breaking 3.25 billion. Now, if you want to build something, there are grants available up to 100K for 10 startups. This is from Mercy Core Ventures. Never heard of them, to be honest, but that doesn't mean anything. Apply by the end of this March, and this is for driving financial inclusion. So if this is something that you can do in emerging markets, then this would be really, really cool. Now, I don't have a huge amount of information about emerging markets, but I do know that maybe there's a group of people in Nigeria that could go for this and put something in place in order to improve things in Nigeria. Nigeria's got a huge amount of potential, but it just needs more building. Eclipse Foundation has just raised 50 million in a Series A. So this is co-led by Placeholder VC and Hack VC. I haven't heard of Hack VC. Well, I'm following them, so I clearly have heard of them, but I haven't heard of them as much as Placeholder. So they're doing very, very well. And this is bringing Solana performance to Ethereum with the first SVM layer 2. So there are a couple of people that want to do this. MakerDAO from the Ethereum side, they also were keen on doing this. And exactly how this is going to look, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to work it out. What I would say right now, immediately, is just go and join the Discord, follow them. If there's any kind of beta testing on early networks, that could be helpful as well. I did do some beta testing on another Solana EVM type thing, and that didn't equate to anything in the end. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but go and put in the effort. I'm referring to obviously airdrops, but also just finding something which is really, really cool. Maybe get some tokens, maybe you can stake the tokens, maybe it blows up, maybe it becomes the biggest EVM outside of Ethereum. So, you know, potentially, it has potential. What we really need on Solana, of course, is an EVM, an Ethereum virtual machine that can just ship a whole lot of transactions and of course stay very, very secure and keep those tokens safe on the network. On the subject of TPS from Solana, Tolly asks, is it worth to aggressively increase block space on Solana even if it increases the risk of an outage? Fortunately, majority of people are voting no. This is, of course, is not how something gets implemented, of course, but this is just a question. And Mert says, only after a mechanism is added for throttling bot spam. Otherwise, what's the point? But once it's added, definitely. Anyway, we're at the stage already where basically we need more transactions per second to happen on Solana. The cost to do a transaction is now over a cent most of the time. And I mean, it is what it is. It's better than everything else that's, you know, has a huge amount of usage, but we want transactions to be under a cent. That was kind of the goal. Now, maybe Fire Dancer can fix this. I'm not really sure, but either way, we'll have to see how it all plays out. Basically, we've got a huge amount of growth coming to Solana, and this is a bullish thing. If you've been following the MetaDAO, then the Dutch auction from Proposal 10 has begun. There's 1,000 meta will be sold in increments of 100 meta as asks on open book DEX. So this enables users to gain meta exposure with minimal slippage while ensuring the meta is sold at competitive prices. I'm very, very bullish on Futagi. I'm very, very bullish on MetaDAO. This is far more of an advanced thing. Most of the people watching this will just be after completely fine airdrops, you know, just making short-term gains. If you are wanting to like learn, if you've got quite a bit of time, just go in there and just read and read. do your best to understand things, watch my videos on Futagi, and from there, if you don't understand something, plug into ChatGPT and start to kind of understand it, because these guys here are going to improve crypto so much, and you can be a part of this DAO. Probably the biggest news of the day is Kamino. So this was released last night, and I'm very, very bullish on this. I have been asked by a couple of people if this was a smart decision, and it definitely is. Basically, a smart person, an intelligent person can always change their view or change their mind based on new data. And they didn't have all the data. They made a decision which I did not agree with, and it was essentially not rewarding the people that were there early, and then a whale could come in and just farm points significantly. So this is very good. Look, I'm very bullish on Kamino, very, very bullish. I use Kamino the most out of any DeFi dApp. Dupe, Kamino, and I'm starting to use DYOR. But Kamino is very, very good. I've got some tutorials on it. And in my opinion, it's a little bit of an annoying thing, but if you've got some funds, go and play the game of just trying to accumulate some points. That's just my opinion here, because right now, like, it has a huge amount of potential. It can do things to make things a lot more simple. And we are very, very early into the bull cycle, in my opinion. So if you can get some points and gather some Kamino, I think that would be very, very worthwhile. Let's just go over the summary. Kamino Finance OG users will get a dedicated token allocation. Multiply feature won't give as many points as before, and multipliers have been heavily lowered. Also, another thing that you can do if you want to is you can go and farm more points using Flexland. So Flexland has a new option, and it's going to give us all the information here in quite a long way. I'm just going to show you. It'll just be easier. So just go to Flexland, at Flexland, jump on their website, connect your wallet, of course, and just click on Points Lift. So what we can do is, this only relates to the Kamino vaults, but we can go and deposit some money into just lending out our USDC, and then we're going to get more points, 2x points, from 1200 to 1800. So 900 plus 900. I'm not entirely sure why this is like this, 1200 to 1800, when it should be 900 to 900. But I think it has something to do with the fact that the multipliers have reduced and just the UI isn't showing it. So then we have this, and then we go and deposit it, and then we confirm the transaction, and then we are good to go. We will not be getting any yield with this. So we're not getting any interest whatsoever. Our $100 will stay the same. But what basically happens in the background is Flexland will put $100 of their own money in it, and then we get the points from theirs and ours as well, and then they take all of the yield. It's just an option for you. To be perfectly honest, I would probably go just to lending, and I would just go and put it into whatever pool is giving you the highest yield. Also, we can see right now, and this is just my opinion, but the rates have come down significantly, which means quite a bit of the leverage has actually left the system. There wasn't much of a flush out in my opinion, but maybe there's another flush out coming. But from the people that I've been watching, we're just going to go pretty much just straight up. Of course, there's always going to be these little dips, but in terms of price for Sol, BTC, ETH, and some, of the major narrative tokens, it's just going to increase and increase. And I wouldn't be worried again personally, and I'll have more information later. But until these start to get crazy high again, then I feel like there's too much leverage in the system. Now, if you don't know what I mean by leverage in the system, then essentially when there's a lot of people trying to push up the price of something, they are borrowing USDC in order to push it up. When there's a lot of people shorting something, pushing down the price in, Bybit and Binance and these big exchanges, then that will also happen on chain, as there's there can't be price differences. There's always economic availability of an opportunity there. And so what will happen is the lend rates will decrease. That's generally how it happens. It's not always just real time, but that's how it happened in the last cycle, and that's how I predict it's going to happen in this cycle. Anyway, long story short, Points Lift is now live. Now, I haven't used deBridge, so I can't show you a tutorial or anything like that, but people are using it, one, to get into the ecosystem, and two, because they will have some sort of points program and a token will be released in the future. So this could be something that you're keen on. If you're wanting to move out of Solana or into Solana, then give this a go. Elements NFT, they're starting to get some airdrops. Now I need to reach out to the team, get a little bit of information on this. I have a few Vantas. I've only got one element or maybe two elements, but basically I do like Asset Dash. It's very, very good. And maybe it's now fitting that narrative similar to like how holding a Tensorian or Mad Lad is. They do have access to a lot of projects, and maybe they're going to start to get an airdrop. I'm not sure if having a Vanta is going to give you anything, or if you need to specifically have an element. So I need to find out some information and give you the summary. If someone knows, by all means just ping me and give me that TLDR. But it says snapshots have not been taken yet. Come to Discord for more information. So I should have some information on this maybe tomorrow. But what I have noticed is the price of Vantas has gone up by like 15% in 24 hours. Next up, we've got Wormhole. I'm not going to follow this too much just because I don't think they did the most fair or smartest kind of token allocation, but whatever. I do have a tutorial. It's from 2021 on how to use it, and I will make another one in the future. That's fine. I want them to be successful, but messing up your tokenomics like this, it's, in my opinion, it's just rubbish, and a lot of people have agreed. Nevertheless, you can click on this. If you want to do a deep dive, it's here, but I don't have the time at the moment. We have an update from Unibot. All I'm basically going to say is stop using Unibot. Just keep that seed phrase safe, or that private key really, really safe. Withdraw the funds and go and set up a different bot. It says along the lines of, after careful consideration, feedback from our partnered organizations, Unibot core team has decided to part ways with the team which deployed Unibot on Solana and have asked them to change their name as they don't represent us and our core values for transparency, security, and honesty. I don't care. I mean, this is better statement than no statement. But if you made a mistake going with someone and then you have a disagreement and you can't work it out between you, it doesn't matter. Clearly, that's not a product worth using, right? Unibots from Ethereum, completely fine. They went and hired some people that could deploy it on Solana, completely fine. They had an agreement, it didn't work out. I don't know what it is. They couldn't work it out privately, so they've gone public. The point is, there's no reason why you should be using Unibot on Solana now, because they can't even communicate from the core team to the Solana team. And therefore, even if it's completely safe for the entirety of the future, there's too much risk. This is like a red flag when FTX had red flags, and I should have withdrawn my money as well as everyone else should have. This is a red flag. Get your money out of Unibot, use a different bot. As mentioned, go and try out Bonkbot. Bonkbot does a great job. Also, Fluxbeam bot does a very, very great job as well. And in many ways, this is very, very undervalued, but definitely try out this. I'll have some tutorials, I don't know when, hopefully within the next few weeks, on how to set these up and use them. I still need to do a video on Gaimin. I'll get that done tonight. It'll be released tomorrow. But Echelon has his personal Gaimin prediction. Now he is an ambassador, as I am an ambassador of Gaimin as well. Just so you are aware, I am not paid for it in any way. Nothing like that. I just think it's a very, very good product, and I want to try and cover it in my fair, unbiased way. In my opinion, my fair, unbiased way. So his prediction is, long story short, the price of 1 GG, the floor price will be $12,000. Have no idea how long he thinks it's going to actually happen, but I agree. I will go and buy one in a tutorial tonight, and I do wish I had more. The gaming ecosystem is going to be big. It all fits the AI narrative, GPU narrative, and it's going to cook, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course. Solflare wallet, if you're using this wallet, just keep in mind that if you go and do a swap in Solflare each day for the next 2 weeks, you will enter a raffle to win 10 times 100 USDC rewards and a grand reward of 1 Solana monkey business Gen 2 NFT. I'm unsure what the floor price on this is, but that would be really, really cool. And it's just a random draw. There's nothing like that. It starts today and it ends on March 25th. Sniper has this short video hinting at maybe a mint, and I'm assuming it would be a mint for their own collection. So I don't really use Sniper much, but I have used it in the past. Obviously there's Tensor, Magic Eden, and Sniper. They are 3 big ones. Anyway, I'll keep you up to date with this mint. And Phantom has 4 million monthly active users, so incredible growth there. I'm sure I've onboarded quite a few people to Phantom. There are other wallets out there, you're welcome to try them, but Phantom is my preferred one. I just think it keeps you a lot safer. And now I'm just going to quickly go through JLP. I'll create a dedicated video, but basically I'm at dupe.ag right now, and JLP, I'm just going to tell you what it is. Firstly, you can go and buy it right like this, go do a swap and confirm. But also I want to show you how to use the DCA, the set and forget feature. You can use this to sell anything. So if I wanted to go and sell some tokens, maybe some basket, which I do not want to sell, but I could go and allocate, say, half of it to buy JLP, and I can set when I want to actually sell it. Quite often when you're going out of one position to another, as an example, let's say you had some Nisana, a token that's doing very, very well, maybe got in early, and maybe you want to dollar cost average out of it, in which case you would allocate your Nisana tokens here, and you'd probably buy USDC at a particular rate every day or something like that. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to go and take some USDC, I'm going to buy some JLP, and just going to do like 50 because I don't have a lot of funds in this particular wallet. And what we'll do is we'll probably go with, every 6 hours, and we'll go with 10 different orders. So all I'm buying is just 5 USDC per order. So nothing crazy there, but I have this DCA that will work for a few days. Of course, if I want to, I could go and change it to 1 day, and then I'm just buying $5 per day. And you can do the same thing with Sol. I'm going to start the DCA. There's a small platform fee of 0.1% to use this feature, and confirm. The USD coin will leave my wallet, and then I'll get JLP bought for me and put into my wallet every day. So DCA, dollar cost average, is a fantastic feature. Now let's go up to trade and earn. We'll click on earn, and we can see that this is a JLP pool. So essentially, this is a token which represents a liquidity provision position, basically a liquidity position. So we've got some Sol, ETH, Wrapped Bitcoin, USDC, and USDT. All of these tokens combined basically work out to be the market cap of JLP. And they have a particular target weight that they want to kind of sit with. You have USDC and USDT, and the reason why they have all these tokens here is because these are the tokens that you can use to trade on the perps DEX. Now, this is what they have at the moment. In the future, they may have a different JLP, and it may have different tokens. Or they could just add another token to this, but my assumption is this would probably stay the same, and you'd have like JLP1, JLP2, or something along those lines. So you have all these assets under management, and when people provided these assets a few months ago and continue to provide them, they basically get this JLP token, and it accumulates the fees. So 70% of the generated fees, and thus far there's been over $50 million in perps DEX fees. They are distributed back to the holders by redepositing the fees into the pool hourly, and thus increasing the JLP price. So the fees are generated, they come back in, and they go straight back in here. Therefore, the JLP price was, I'm not sure exactly, too long ago, maybe it was like $1.60 or something along those lines. And the JLP price just grows and grows and grows. Now, of course, it doesn't always have to be like that. If these tokens went down in value significantly, then this would go down as well. But I'll go over this in more detail in another video. But that's essentially what JLP is, and you can go and use it in DeFi things such as with Kamino, and there's another platform coming out in the future. I'll talk to you about that another time. So that's JLP. It's basically a basket of currencies that attracts yield from the perps DEX of Jupiter. That's all for today. Stay curious. Catch you tomorrow.